Welcome to Tell It Like It Is with Loria Hudson, PhD, PLPC. This is the space where clinical expertise meets raw truth and where faith guides us back to the relationships that matter most. Whether you're looking to heal the relationship with yourself, strengthen your marriage, or build a resilient family, it's time to strip away the noise and get real. Here's your host, catalyst for change and leader in relational wellness, Dr. Loria Hudson.
That's right. We are back with Tell It Like It Is. I'm Dr. Loria, and we are diving into a topic on today that is so dear to my heart, and I know that it's going to be dear to your hearts. I'm talking about mothers. Do you know where your daughters are? Think about that. I am asking you, do you know where your daughters are? Now, I don't mean geographically. You know, you might say, well, yeah, she's in the bed, she's at a neighbor's house or she's at a friend's house. That is not what I'm talking about today. But it is good to know where they are geographically as well. But do you know where their heart is? Do you know where their mind is? That is so important. Because, so many times the old generations, they're always saying, where your kids are, what are they doing? We get so busy in life because we work and we're taking care of other things. But do we really sit down and have these intimate conversations with our daughters? Dealing with children, young kids all the time, all the way. And now remember, I'm not just talking about the daughters that live in the house with you. I'm talking about if she's 20, 30, 40, do you know where they are? Do you ever ask them what is going on with you personally and talk about it? We always talk about the main problem with a lot of relationships is communication. So communication is supposed to be the number one problem. If that is so true, as so many say that it is, what is going on with the communication that you have with your daughter? Is it a bad communication? I don't know. You tell me. What kind of communication are you having with your daughter? When was the last time you asked her, what are you thinking about? How do you feel about this? It's almost like the relationships with a mother and a daughter. It's like as far as to see. You sitting at the dinner table and you're talking to her. And you'll say, are you listening to me? It looks like her mind is 1,000 miles this way. Yours 1,000,000 miles this way. You know why? There's a disconnect right there. There's a divide, a division between you and your daughter in the way you talk to her. That is so important. How? How are you having a conversation with her? Now, mothers, what I want you to do, you might say, well, I don't have that with me. But what I want you to do, I want you to look into the mirror. Look into that mirror. What do you see? Are you parenting your daughter from your past that you've gone through? Or are you parenting your daughter from the frustration in which you feel on the inside? Are you parenting her from the future of things that have happened to you, the way someone have treated you? Maybe you went to work and you got upset, and all that frustration you brought that home. So are you communicating with your daughter from that point of view? Think about it. I know you said, I haven't thought about it that way. But I'm asking you, when you look in the mirror, what do you see when we're talking about the relationship that you have with your daughter? We project that all the time. She's just my child and I can talk to her any kind of way. No. We can't talk to our daughters any kind of way. Because remember, the way that you're talking to her, she's going to project that not only on you, but on others. So we have to be so mindful in talking to our daughters. And when I ask you where they are, I can remember one time a parent called my house when my daughters was young. I'm talking about after 11 p.m. at night. And I heard, my daughter talking on the phone and everything. And she was asking my daughter where was her daughter. And my daughter was like, I'm in the bed. So I got up and I was like, what's going on? And she said, well, she wants to know, where her daughter is. So I get on the phone and I was like, excuse me. I said, my child is in the bed asleep. I said, your child should be in the bed asleep. It being after 11 p.m. at night. And she was like, well, I just been calling, different friends because she snuck out the house. And my daughter looking at me like, well, I can't even get out the house. I sure can't jump from the second floor, and I sure can't get out of the gate. But I'm like, she had no idea where her daughter was. And when we did find out, the next morning, here it was, 4 o'clock in the morning, and she's coming home. It's so important to know where your daughters are. And we see so many times, right today, so many young ladies, they get in so much trouble. But if we start having more conversations with them, not just minding them, telling them to do this, and do this, but like I said at the beginning of the show, you really want to know where they are. Who are they hanging out with? What are you thinking? We have so many young ladies that harm themselves because they feel like no one is listening to me. Parents, we don't want to talk at our kids. We want to talk to them. Now, we might not always, and I know we don't as parents, we don't always agree with them in what they say. But we always say we learn to agree to disagree. Hear them out in their conversations. So if they say something that you don't agree on, think about it. Okay, wait a minute, go back for me. Go back with me on this. When you was a little girl, did you really listen? Some of us, we listened and we didn't listen. So that's why I ask, are you parenting from your past? The way your parents parent you. But this is your daughter. Sit down and have a conversation. Literally listening to them when they start saying, well, Mom, I don't like this, and Mom, I don't like that. That's okay. You don't have to agree with everything. You don't even have to like everything. But you're letting that young lady talk to you, to tell you how she's feeling, what is going on with her. Because the worst thing can happen is, if something happened to your daughter and you never see that daughter again, you're going to blame yourself. And then that's another whole case scenario on its own. I wish I had her. I should have listened. We don't want to get to the point where we're saying we should have listened. You should be saying, I know what she was thinking. I know how she was feeling. Now I've had that conversation with her. I knew something was going on with her, and I knew it wasn't right. But I didn't do anything about it. So we don't want to wait until the worst case scenario happened. And then we look at, I wish I had her. Oh, do I get to hear those words so often? I wish I had her. But you have that opportunity today. Because when I told you to look in the mirror earlier, you saw where you was parenting from your hurt, from the trauma, the past that you've gone through, and the way your parents or grandparents, whoever raised you, whether it was in a system or whatever. But I'm telling you, the mission of the table is so important. That is so important in our lives. When we're sitting at that table, just like this, like a family setting, and you're talking to your daughter, and she's crying, and she's saying, Mom, I feel, Mom, I don't like. You just have to hold it together and let them get it out. And once they get it out, then you say what you have to say. And you come to a conclusion. You don't want your daughter fighting you. We see so much of that now. Daughters fighting moms, moms beating up daughters. It shouldn't be like that. Even if that was your past, it's time to break that generational curse. If your parents did that to you, do you think it's fair that you do it to your daughters as well? You want to raise a daughter up where you will be close to her. And a lot of times when it gets to that part about, Mother's Day, or they have mother-daughter events and things like that, and they don't want you to come and you really don't want to be there with them, think about that. You start thinking about, well, I'm a bad mom. Or she's saying, I don't want you with me. You don't know how to talk to me. So if you come out in public with me, how are you going to talk to me? So what is wrong with us taking out time? We could do Mother-Daughter's Day and with the different events that go on in your community, wherever you live. But they normally do that, once or twice a year? We can't just bank on that. What about the other 363 days of the year? We want to make sure that we have a communication with our daughters year-round. So when different things like that come, you're in a different place. Like I said earlier, you don't have to like everything. But we need to learn how to get together. What can we do to start communicating with our daughters without arguing with your daughters. When they first come into the house, oh, you need to do this here. I left the dishes. You need to get to clean up. You need to clean up your room. Let's change that conversation. Now when your daughters walk in, ask them about their day. I can remember my mama used to ask us about our day. She'll sit all 6 of us around and she would ask each one of us, what was your day like? Before anything else was taking place, homework or whatever, she wanted to know how we felt. So I'm asking you to sit your daughter down. Even if she said, well, Mom, I'm tired, I want to go to sleep. No, you want to bring her into the present with you. And you want to ask her, how's your day? Did anything exciting happen? Instead of asking these same formal questions, I say, oh, what's for lunch? Do you have any homework? No. Try something different with her. That'll be different. Or tell her, these are some things that we're going to do. And I know that you can do this. If they have a phone and you have a phone, you can text her and tell her, I love you. Just out of the blue. And you know she's going to wonder, what's going on? Mom telling me that's not like her. But you can start something new. That is what I want us to do as mothers, to love your daughters. And that way you will know where they are. And when they leave the house, it's okay to ask them where you're going. Oh, you should ask them where they're going, okay? Don't just say, I'll be back. Because like I told you earlier, then you'll be wondering where they are. Daughters don't run the house. And the first thing I hear you saying, and they don't pay the bills. No, they might not pay the bills, but you don't have to just drill that in there telling them, you don't pay no bills here. You know the conversations that a lot of mothers have with their daughters? You don't pay bills, you can't do nothing, but yes, they can. Have a conversation with them. Because mothers, listen to me. If they can't talk to you, who do you think they're going to talk to? You'd rather that daughter to talk to you instead of talking to a man that's twice. When I say twice, if she's 15, if he's 29, you don't want that. We see that too often. You don't want her talking to him, and then when you start having a conversation with her, she say, well, they listen to me. Listen to your daughter. Listen to your daughters talk to you. And that way, we could bring up more healthier daughters. They want to be healthy. They want that love that they are so desiring to have. And so if you're saying, well, Dr. Loria, I can't give them something I don't have. I understand that. And that's where you want to get with someone can teach you how to bring that love out for your daughter. Think about when you first meet that man, you know, you all in love with him and you giving him all your time. You try that with your daughter. Try that with your daughter. Because I tell you, she need you. Mothers, your daughters need you. They need us. They need us to come together. It shouldn't be all the fussing and the fighting. It should be more laughter and tears is just fine. So if you want to try that, to say, I want a better relationship with my daughter, we can do that. You can do it. Just start opening your mouth and be mindful when you start talking. Not fussing, but to actually have a conversation. And then mothers, when y'all start talking, ask her, now what did I say? Because we want to make sure that her thoughts is not a million miles away. Remember what we talked about? You sitting there talking to her and she looks like she's across the water. Bring it on home. Bring it into your kitchen table. And you talk with your daughter. And you let her know how much you love her while you have her here with you. Mother-daughter day, you'll enjoy that new one. Mother's Day, you'll enjoy that. And you might be saying, well, Dr. Loria, I haven't talked to my daughter in so long. But after this show, pick up the phone or send her a text and just tell her you love her. Or just tell her you missed her. I'm Dr. Loria Hudson with Tell It Like It Is. And remember, to thy own self be true. And God bless you. Until next time.
Thank you for listening to Tell It Like It Is with Dr. Loria Hudson. To find out more about Dr. Hudson's books, including Girl, Get Your Voice Back, and her children's book, Dreams Take Flight, or to learn more about her work in relational wellness, visit the show notes below. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with someone you love. Tune in next time, and remember, to thine own self, be true.